All right, hello everyone. My name is Matt Greisen. I'm a former classmate of David's, and I want to start this by addressing the elephant in the room. I am the man who mispronounced Colossians earlier. Thank you all so much. You all always spent so much time and effort helping me learn that word. I'm forever grateful. When I had first heard that David had proposed to Alicia, I thought it was about 50-50 shot on whether or not I was going to get invited to this wedding. So you can imagine my shock when David had asked me to be a groomsman. You can further imagine my shock when mid-September David called me out of the blue and told me that I was going to be his best man. While I'm incredibly grateful and honored to have this opportunity, when he asked me that originally, I was somewhat shocked just because I knew that everyone else who was going to be in the wedding party, all of the other groomsmen were just as qualified, if not more qualified, to stand up here and give this speech. I don't think that I know David the best. I would think that his two brothers who have been with him his whole life know him better than I do. I'm not the smartest person out of the groomsmen. I know for a fact at least Brady is smarter than me. I would imagine several of the other groomsmen are smarter than me as well. It's not exactly a high bar. I also know that, speaking openly here, probably not the nicest person out of this cast either. I know for a fact Molly, who was a groomsman, now she's a bridesmaid. Where is she? Could change in 5 minutes. She's nicer than I am. The only reason I can think of why David would pick me is because I think that he probably has faith that I'm the best public speaker out of the crowd. Sorry, Molly. That's what David thought, not me. Talk to him about it. See, in college I did this activity called mock trial, which is basically debate club. And so David probably thought that, I could lean on that experience and give a half-decent speech. I'm giving a speech about something that is real. Something that is incredibly real to me, which is my respect and admiration for one of the smartest, kindest people I've ever met in my entire life, and that's David. And his beautiful bride, Alicia. Would you round of applause for our absolute stunning Alicia? Now, just in case you haven't realized it already, David and I as friends are kind of a bit of an odd combination. In David, you have someone who is the stereotypical teacher's pet. He shows up early to class, he sits in the front row, he's got the bright red shiny apple. Not only does he take religious notes, he color codes the notes. He's very particular about the type of pen that he uses. He goes the whole 9 yards in class. He was well known in the School of Engineering for all of the right reasons. His teachers loved and respected him. I was known in the School of Engineering for wrong reasons. I filled the role of the class clown. I showed up a little bit later, I didn't pay attention as much. I didn't have bad grades, but mine definitely didn't compete with David's. And a lot of engineering classes at University of Portland, they started at around 8:15. It was always nice though, no matter how late I showed up to class, that when I did open that door, disrupt everything, I would see David there without fail, just give me a little smirk, smile, and sit in the front row shaking his head. Let me know that, while he disapproved of my actions, he accepted me for my flaws. Despite our obvious differences, I like to think that David and I complement each other pretty well. I got him to take things less seriously, and he got me to take things more seriously. He would get me to focus more on the day-to-day tasks, turning in homework, showing up, participating in class, and I would get him to focus more on the bigger picture, talk to him outside about where are we going? What's the point of all this? Why are we engineering students? Why are we doing all this? What's the goal? Life trajectory, and what truly makes us happy. And On the subject of things that make David happy, Alicia. Like myself, I think that Alicia compliments David very well. You know, for David's cool, calmness, analytical side, there's Alicia's bubbly, giggly, spontaneousness. Even with my limited life experience, I've run across this type of person who either is married, has been married for a while, is divorced, somewhat jaded, or they, oh, can't get married, don't get married. It's the biggest mistake you could ever make, you know. I've always found this person to be so dislikable and absolutely crazy. They refer to their partners the old ball and chains. Love, for all of its risks, for all of the ability that you could get hurt, you open up to someone, you're vulnerable around someone, and they take advantage of you. When it works out properly, it's one of the most beautiful things, rewarding things that you can do. And personally, I think that the process of building a family is life's most rewarding endeavor. For how crazy the past couple of years has been, for how crazy the past couple of months have been, days have been planning this, going through this, for how crazy the last couple of hours been, how fast this whole proceeding has flown by. It's flown by for me, I can't imagine how fast it's going for you. I hope that for all that craziness, at some point tonight, privately, you both can take a deep breath and acknowledge what's important. I'm going to echo something that Father had said earlier in his homily, which is, what's truly important isn't, at the end of the day, this ceremony. What's important isn't your jobs that you have when you go back to Minnesota, how much money you make, what your major was, what your GPA was, the things you own, the things you want. That's not important. What's important is the relationship that you guys have and how everyone here wants to help you guys succeed. I think that anyone here, if you reach out to us at any point in the future, we'll do whatever we can to help you out. This community is what's important. I'm going to end by saying that, you know, I wish you guys the best, but you guys have already found it. So with that, everyone, let's raise a glass to the newlyweds. Cheers.